There's one thing that will forever change the way you sleep, and it's the softest 100% organic cotton bedding from Boll & Branch. You'll fall asleep faster, wrapped in the most luxurious comfort. You'll never sleep hot again with airy blankets, cloud-like duvets, and breathable sheets. You'll experience pure comfort on night one and feel your bedding get softer with every wash. Discover the difference with 15% off your first order at bollandbranch.com with code CUMULUS. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Every team, every topic, everywhere. This is Believe.
This is Jordan McLeod from Texas State. You're listening to Fun Belt Podcast.
This is the Fun Belt Podcast, part of the Believe Network.
Hosts to Dusty Thibodeaux of Warhawk Report, Jeremy Harper of Howl Razor, and Shane Mettlen of the Daily News Record.
I think it's potentially a very good week for the Sun Belts.
But I'm just kind of going off on a random rant. It's just frustrating.
Jeremy, we survived trolley rides.
Yes.
Bourbon Street.
Yes.
Beignets.
Yes.
And we had so much fun on day one of Sunbelt Conference Media Days with an S.
So many great interviews. So many great personalities. Met some new coaches. Great stuff.
We should do it again.
Wow. Are we allowed? Is that permissible?
I mean, we got to apply for a new credential probably because you lost yours on Bourbon Street somewhere or traded it for a pair of beads.
I think the police officer has it in the back of his squad car.
Is it like Uber where you can call them and they'll bring it back to you?
No, they won't.
Oh, okay.
They're very strict about that.
Biggest lesson that we learned on day one when we talked throughout the East. What was your biggest takeaway?
I like the new coaches coming in. You know, Bob Chesney had a lot of energy, a lot of spirit, said the right things. Coach Del McGee, a little quieter, but seemed really focused on getting his team ready for this year, even though he came in, in March, end of February? So he didn't have a whole lot of time to get acclimated. So he looks like he's got his team ready, too. So I'm really impressed with the new coaches.
Yeah, I think that James Madison has the opportunity to really be able to pick up where Signetti left off. But I still think that this is App State's year to once again go to the Sun Belt Conference Championship. Maybe this is the year they can hoist the big trophy again, but they'll definitely be in the mix and playing for it for sure.
Well, not only do they have the services of the longest tenured Sun Belt coach in Sean Clark, but they also have the Offensive Player of the Year, Joey Aguilar, who we also got to talk to. Nice kid, very quiet, very confident, liked him a lot.
Yeah, he had that California swagger that he has definitely brought to the East Coast.
He really did.
And so I was highly impressed with him, impressed really with all the student athletes, the coaches, as you said, that we had a chance to talk with. Del McGee, apparently under the weather.
Yeah.
So he
what a
was
trooper to come to media days.
And deal with you.
Yeah, I know. It makes anybody sicker.
Exactly. So now that we have day one out of the way, Jeremy, let's get started with day two.
All right, let's go. BetOnline is your #1 source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in the UCF, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on some blackjack or poker, or unwind with one of our 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BLEAV, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, the game starts here. All right, with us today at the Fun Belt Podcast for day two of the Sun Belt Media Days, we have the Red Wolves contingent, student athletes, Jalen Rayner, quarterback, second year coming in, Charles Willicks. Willicus. One day I'm going to get that right. You've only been on the team forever. Charles Willicus, a linebacker, second team Sun Belt. And joining us, too, is Butch Jones, the coach. Hello, Butch. He's coming in. Welcome to the show, guys. We got a lot of questions for you, especially you, Jalen, concerning the Manning Academy. How was that experience?
It was super fun. It was a great experience that I'm super grateful for. I got to meet a lot of great people, a lot of coaches. We got to meet Bill Belichick, Matt Patricia, Sean McDermott. It was just a lot of great people to meet, and then the whole Manning family. They were super genuine, super cool, funny, and then all the connections with the quarterbacks. It was great. It was a brotherhood from day one.
Who's your favorite Manning?
You don't want to answer.
They were all
They're all great.
They were
Okay.
all great.
And 2, is Bill Belichick the hard ass that he comes across in person as he comes across on TV?
He was pretty quiet for the most
Oh,
part.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
So he's just like Butch Jones, is what you're saying.
No. Coach isn't quiet. I don't
So
think.
did they have like drills and teaching opportunities? What was the program like?
So for the most part, we would have 2 practices a day where we were coaching. The college quarterbacks were the coaches. So
Wow.
2 hours. We made our own drills and led the campers through the drills. So that was most of the time. And then we'll have a 7-on-7 where we were also the coaches. And then we'll have like a throwing session where Peyton, Eli, Cooper, all of them, then they would coach us. So it was pretty cool.
Char, right? Is that the name you go by, Char?
Yeah, absolutely.
The defense made a huge stride last year for the Red Wolves. Did a lot of bending, don't breaking type defense. Seemed to seal up the middle a lot. What was the key last year that stopped the opposing run games?
Well, that's kind of a difficult trick question because, I mean, you say that, but that's not exactly how, we view it because, there was still a lot of missed opportunities, a lot of points put up on the board. So, really, I guess what we talk about is the next step is the short yard. That's where we struggled a lot. 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 2. That's where we struggled a lot. There were strides that were made, but that's obviously not the expectation. There's too many points on the board.
Yeah, you guys lost some guys, some starters from last year, but then you brought in some guys that look pretty good. Do you feel good about the linebacker group for Arkansas State?
Yeah, I do. We got some depth. I would say we got a couple pieces that are older. We got myself, Dane Motley, Cam Jeffries, Justin Parks is in that room now as some older guys. But then, the rest of the guys are some younger guys. So it's actually going to be very interesting to see throughout fall camp, who's going to be able to truly mature a little bit and take the step to going from, wishy-washy to actually being able to play and help us out on the field.
Did you kidnap Justin Parks out of the secondary and put him in the linebacker room? What happened there?
He's going to hate me for this, but the 4.9 40 wasn't cutting. No, he's not running 4.9. No, he put on some size. And, we moved him down to that nickel position, star position, and he's been a great addition. He's a good guy. He was a great guy. He was here last year, and so not even having that just talent-wise in the room, but just having that personality-wise in the room has been awesome, and it's been a really good addition.
So, last question for you. I have it on very good authority that you're the favorite player of former governor of Arkansas, Mike Beebe. How do you respond to those expectations?
Those are very high expectations. I have also heard those rumors, and I hope to live up to those rumors this year.
All right, because you don't want his Secret Service staff coming over and
I
giving
want
you a
no
lecture
part of
about
that.
missing a tackle.
Oh, I'm allowed to see.
You're allowed to talk. I was fanboying.
He always fanboys for Arkansas State. You
I
would
do.
think that he went to school there or,
I did.
whatever. Have some professionalism, Jeremy.
Working on it.
Jay, you had a great freshman year last year. What was the big thing, though, that you learned that maybe you need to carry over or improve on for year 2?
Definitely looking back at the film from last year, just the pre-snap identification so I can play faster post-snap. We talk like pre-snap checklist, seeing what we think is going to be, and then through my first step of my drops, verifying what it is so I can react off of it and being able to find my completions quicker and take the stress off the O-line.
We had you on a previous episode. We asked you then, surely you've gone back, you've studied the film. It was a heartbreaking bowl loss. Was he offsides?
No, he wasn't.
So he's still not offsides.
He's still not offsides.
Okay. I was making sure that upon further review that you hadn't changed your mind on that.
You thought maybe some reflection, some deep breathing,
or that other angle that they had.
No, there was no other angle. It was there for that.
So, Coach Jones, coming in on year 3 by Butch math, what are you looking forward to the most this year, where you've even kind of said that this is definitely a crawl, walk, run type of step, or are we at the run yet?
Well, I think, again, every team is different. But when you really look at it, it's all about staying the course. It's all about your principles, your values, your culture. We spend a significant amount of time with our culture. We pour into it. We invest in it. And we made a commitment, as y'all know, a long time ago. We were going to build it through the high school ranks, supplement it through the transfer portal. I think when you talk to these two individuals, they're both microcosms of our football program. One perspective, you have Char Willikis, who was a walk-on linebacker, transfer portal, Michigan State, second chance opportunity, came here when we came here, has been through the program, has really developed into really one of the faces of our program. And then you have Jalen Rayner, who was part of a #1 recruiting class, just got here, true freshman last year, and how we've meshed the program. But I think for us, and Jalen has said it, Char has said it, we just can't be a year older. We have to be a year better. And we were the third youngest team in college football last year, but now we have that experience. But I think we're experienced in the age of college football. We still have 42 new scholarship players in our program that weren't here last year. So that's why you got to have a strong infrastructure, a culture, and then you have these two individuals and many more in our program that really are culture setters, and they enforce the culture for you.
Coach, you talked a little bit about recruiting. And when you came to Arkansas State, you made it a point to say, we're going to rebuild this team through old-fashioned high school recruiting. And some people thought that, man, we can't wait for that. You know, go into the transfer portal, rebuild it that way. That's how other people are doing it. And now you're beginning to see those seeds become bearing fruit. How satisfying it is to see some of these guys grow up and become, really good players for Arkansas State.
Well, it is, and we pride ourselves in being a developmental program. And, again, we're looking for sustained success. We're looking for consistency. And I think, when you live in the portal, there's still a lot of unknowns. Make no mistake about it, we're going to do our due diligence. And you look at a lot of the portal individuals we've brought in, like the Courtney Jacksons, one individual that's completely changed our football program and our offensive line room is Jacob Bear. We only have one defensive end in our entire football program that's taken a snap at Arkansas State. The rest are either high school players or portal players. So you have to have the right mix, but it all starts with the locker room. But it was a vision, and again, I want to build this for the long term, and I think you kind of see that foundation now come into play. Now it's what we do with the opportunities, and we have to have the ability to take the first 3 years, all the experiences, everything we've put into it, and really apply it into this season and moving forward.
This is kind of a question for all three of you. Polls are stupid because polls mean nothing in the preseason. But one thing that was revealing about the Sun Belt West poll was the log jam that comes right at the top. In Texas State, they're picked first. And then it's almost like 2A, 2B, 2C in accordance to how many votes were given. I think there's a spread of about 4 votes, Dusty. How does it feel to be in this division where it's just going to be, like a cage match for the season? Are you guys ready for that?
Well, you're exactly right, and then I'll let the players discuss it. But when you talk about building a program from ground zero, this is not the Sun Belt that was in existence 4, 5, 6 years ago that was known as the Fun Belt. This is now, They play defense. Every administration has made a commitment with their football program, NIL. All the dynamics have changed. Commissioner Gill has done a great job with his vision. This is the premier group of 5 football conference in the country. So to have to build a program from ground zero, it's going to take time, and it's an evolution. And again, you can't waver. You got to trust the process, the journey. But you look at last year, we were picked 6th.
Yeah.
We finished 2nd, tied for 2nd. This year, we're picked 4th. But really, that doesn't matter. It's what you do with it. But I tell you, this conference, our side of the division, I don't think I've ever seen a more challenging schedule ahead than what we have right now. anyone can beat anyone, and there does take a maturity, a toughness to be able to go through the grind of a long football season.
Go ahead.
Oh, I agree with Coach, definitely. Week in,
Good
week
choice.
out, it's gonna be a competitive game. You can't take anybody lightly. You have to prepare each week like it's the national championship. So definitely we got some great competitors in the conference, and we're gonna take it 1 week at a time, one moment at a time, to really focus on ourselves and not really get into all the politics and stuff like that, but really just be the best versions of ourselves each week.
Jalen, definitely the talk of Media Day has been the re-release of NCAA football. How good are you?
I'm undefeated. Haven't lost yet.
Do you have a Heisman or anything yet?
No, I haven't started the road to glory. It's too close to camp.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get carried away.
I see Coach Jones over there wiping his brow that he's relieved that you're focusing on the season and not the virtual season.
Yeah.
But walk me through that process of how did you kind of go through that process of opting in? What did it take for you to really become the virtual Jalen Rayner in the game?
Definitely when they when I heard the rumors of the game even coming out, which was probably like 10 years ago, they said they were going to re-release.
Felt like it, yeah.
When I heard that they were actually going to make the game again, it was a no-brainer for sure to opt in. It's something like you dream of as a kid. You make your own player on Madden or something, and you're playing with them. But to actually have yourself created in the game, like before you make yourself, is super cool. And yeah, I play with myself. Well, pause. I played with myself, and I did pretty good with myself, so it was fun.
So when you joined the game, how great was it when you received that email with the link saying, do you want in, do you want out? And then how great was it when you got that check in hand of, hey, I actually made it?
Yeah, I mean that's cool. You know, you get to be in the game and you get to be paid and all. But like he was saying, the coolest aspect of it is just, you know, being in a video game. You know, as a child, that's you're playing the game and then one day you're in the game. So that's super cool. I have yet to download the game, so I don't have it. But at some point I may get the game and play the game, and I will take that winning streak off your
So what
hands.
he's saying, he's not very good at the game as well if he hasn't downloaded it.
I'm probably not very good at
Dug
it.
into the truth.
But Coach Jones, do you break it out at all and try to school these guys and say, look, I know how to coach the real thing, and that translates to me to be able to whoop you in the game?
Well, I tell you what, they done a remarkable job with the graphics. You look at Centennial Bank Stadium, the way it's represented, our uniforms. I mean, it's the closest thing to real as there is. And we've actually, how can we take this game and make it a competitive advantage? So we're actually working on those graphics of how can we transpose our playbook to make it look like the game. From a teaching aspect with the players and our overheads for meetings and all that. So I have yet to play. I don't even know how to use the controller, so I watch my son play it. But when you talk about a great experience for these players to be able to actually go on and be somebody that other people want to emulate, and people around the country that when they go play with Arkansas State in the branding that they're going to know with our players. But there's also a responsibility that comes with it for our players to get better, because I'll tell you this, as a coach, I just sat back and I listened, and every player wanted to see what they were ranked and how they were evaled in the game.
Hey, Coach, we know the Dusty and I know the program director for the esports program at Arkansas State. If you need us to hook you two up so he can give you some pointers and getting the game going, you let us know. We'll do that.
Well, I'm going to need all the coaching I can get, so I'm going to take you up on that.
Oh, I have one last question. I don't know if, Dusty, if you have any more.
No, I think you're still well
You
within your
only
quota.
have one last question. That is impossible.
No, this is it. This is it. I swear to God. You guys put 70 on Texas State. I was at the game. It was fun to watch. I think everybody had a pretty good time. They're ranked ahead of you according to the Sun Belt poll. Does that give you a little bit of a burn, or you just like kind of shrug your shoulders at that?
Well, I think they're very deserving of that. You know, when you look at, you know, everything is quarterback activated in our league, and we saw what Jalen was able to bring, but they bring in the Conference Player of the Year last year in McLeod to lead their football program. You look at the depth that they have, the returners around. So again, we don't spend much time on it, but I think the respect that we have for them and everyone in our conference, and that's what you have to have. When you play in this conference, you have to respect every opponent because of the preparation, the toughness, the innovation on offense, defense, special teams that it takes week in, week out. The preparation, it's what you do on Sunday through Friday that's going to allow you to play winning football on Saturday. And again, it gets back to the previous conversation of our division of the entire Sun Belt. Anyone and everyone's capable of winning. So there comes a maturity level in terms of how you prepare, the respect. Obviously we have to go on the road and play them. Great place to play. We all know their infrastructure very well with Kelly Dampus being there and the commitment that they've made towards that football program and the investment. So there's a lot that goes into that.
Coach, thanks for getting on the show. Thank you guys for coming on the show. We welcome you back anytime.
You guys are the best. So this is always my favorite stop at Media Days. I'm sorry that you didn't get an opportunity to speak very much.
I really don't. I mean, ULM's obviously my team. I don't bogart the time. I share. I play well with others, unlike
Dusty
some
can just
people.
kind of sit back, drink his coffee, let you do all the work. Life is good in New Orleans.
But you know what? I'm just his puppet. He controls me from the through the back channels. You don't see what he's doing.
I'm going to need to get some advice for y'all because I do want to start a podcast, and I've spoken to the Kelsey brothers a number of times with the podcast thing, and it's kind of something I want to start to get into. So hopefully one day we'll have a podcast, and I'm going to bring y'all on, and we're going to have role reversal, and I'm going to interview you guys.
That would be awesome, but also frightening as hell. So I will look forward to that and maybe have nightmares about it too.
I know a little bit about everything, so I roll with the punches. I'm good.
I'm gonna let Jalen do all the questions, and I'm just gonna kind of sit back and enjoy and relax.
That's the way to do it. You just let the quarterback handle it. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Wolves up.
Southern Miss joins us, Jeremy, for Fun Belt Podcast Media Day coverage of the West. Coach Hall, it's a question I kept waiting to ask because he was destroying the league, but he's finally gone. What is life like now post Frank Gore Jr.?
Well, we love Frank and we wish him well. We know he's doing great things with the Bills, but we're really excited about this season. We've recruited really well for 3 straight years. We've had 3 straight top 3 recruiting classes, and we've retained well. We've been able to keep our good players. I think that shows our players, believe in their coaches, believe in the culture, believe in our strength program, believe in the opportunities that Southern Miss can provide for them, and our To the Top collective can provide for them. And so we're just really looking forward to playing this season, with this group of guys.
Not a great year last year, 3-9. I don't mean to bring up the past, but the silver lining, the last time Southern Miss was 3-9, rebounded with a 7-6 year and a bowl game victory. Is that kind of a message that you preach to your team of, guys, last year is last year, and now we're going forward?
I think for us, it's been more about building this program back the right way since the moment we came here. We knew it was going to be tough. We knew there were so many limitations when we got here. We were under the APR water. We were, around 60 scholarships. And so it's just been a methodical build to get it back to what it's supposed to look like. And like I said, there's 2 ways to build a roster nowadays. Number 1 is recruiting. That's the way it's always been. But number 2 is retention. And like I said, we've had 3 straight recruiting classes that are top 3, and we've been able to retain them. So we've got a team now that's filled at every position with guys that have played a lot of college football, that have been in our program for a long time, and we're deep and we're talented. And I'm just really excited to watch these guys play because I really believe in them, believe in how we've built it. We've got more leadership from our players than we've ever had, more accountability from our players than we've ever had. And I think it got a chance to be a really fun season.
Coach Hall, you talked about, Dusty brought up how challenging the season was last year, especially at the beginning of the season. But what was impressive is that Southern Miss never gave up. It actually started improving as the season went on. Played a lot of tough, close games. maybe even got a couple wins out of it. What was it like that, just to get your team motivated to keep on plugging away and stay the course?
Yeah, I don't think our players ever wavered, again, from the long-term goal and vision we have for each one of them individually, but also the program collectively. They all believed in us when they came here, and there's a lot of things that happened last year that were out of our control, some that were, but I think these two guys that are with me right here and the rest of them that stayed, they believe in the long-term vision of where we headed. They knew where we were at when they chose to come here. They knew where we were building to go. And like I said, this 24 season, we've got everything in place to do what we came here to do. It's been a methodical build with the end in mind. Every decision we've made has been towards year 4 and building this program for year 4 and beyond. And we got a lot of good players that have a lot to prove, and I'm excited to watch them play.
Speaking of some of the players, you brought a couple with you. Ty Mims, junior wide receiver, and Jalil Clemens, a senior linebacker. Welcome to the show, guys.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Is this your first time at Sunbelt Media Days? I'm assuming the answer is yes. Yes, sir. And is it a pain in the butt?
No, it's not.
No, it's pretty cool. All right, that works. So, defensive guy, offensive guy. We've been asking this question a lot, actually. Who talks the most shit, defensive backs or linebackers?
Hold on, I didn't quite hear that. Say that again.
Who talks the most shit talk,
Oh,
defensive backs or linebackers?
You already know that's defensive backs for sure. They gonna run their mouth the whole game. They gonna run their mouth outside the game. They just
outside
talkers.
the game too?
Oh yeah, they talkers. I don't know what's up with DBs. They always talkers.
So maybe they're in class and they're just talking shit.
I'm telling you, in the locker room, like
that's crazy. So, we talked about the struggles of Southern Miss. Where do you think the strengths of Southern Miss are going to be this year? Where are we going to see a big level of change?
in the whole team.
Yeah.
Shoot, I just feel like we're gonna see a big change in the whole team.
Nice.
Like, matter of fact, like it's just the whole mindset of the team, like the work we put in. Like everybody's not complaining. Everybody got their head down. We on one mission. Just like I told everybody else, we got a team full of winners, and we ready to win this year. We ready to show people that we really can win, and we're gonna do that. We're going to the championship.
Ty, Frank Gore Jr., maybe the best quarterback in Southern Mississippi.
Oh, God. He's been telling that joke for 2 years.
3. But no, you lost Frank Gore. That y'all did run a little Wildcat out of. Wilkie's gone, transferring to App State. So now you have to break in a new quarterback there of Tate Roadmaker.
Yeah.
What's it like trying to develop that relationship with a new quarterback?
It's not really hard to do. We got guys that come in and you just make friends, and like we just do a lot of team bonding stuff. So like me and Tate real close. We laugh, we talk, we joke. Like me and Tate close, and he just a good guy,
What's it take to really develop that relationship? Like, how do you know? Yeah, all right, we'll be good. We'll be a good match on the field, as opposed to, Coach, we need somebody else.
It takes time. Like it take going out after practice, throwing balls and stuff. Like just getting extra work in,
Clemens, high turnover on the defense, but you've been there through the thick and thin.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about kind of what's it take to get that new chemistry going with your teammates as they come in, and is it kind of frustrating also that you almost feel like everybody's got to walk around with a name tag on?
I feel like it's the same approach to everything. We all we come out every day, just attacking the day every day. Just everybody just team bonding. We're a pretty good close defense. Communication is key on the field and off the field. Just being close with each other. And I think we got a good relationship with everybody on the defense. I think we just put together, we're ready to do it together.
Eagles picked second to last in the West.
Oh, yeah.
Fair assessment, at least coming into the season,
Fair.
or just kind of bulletin board material to push you up the rankings?
Fair. We don't need any pushing anyways. Even if they can say that we're gonna be the worst team anyways. We already, what we got going on inside our building is we think we're gonna be the best anyways. We already see the work that we put in. We see the players that we got around us. And we think we got what it takes to win.
Yep.
Ty, have you played the video game yet?
Oh, definitely.
Ty, did they capture your speed?
No. Not
wait,
at all.
you're not a 4-speed?
No.
It's been a big talk in our locker room that Chandler Pittman's faster than Ty Mims. It's been a big sore subject for Ty, but a bright subject for Chandler.
Well, I do have a question for Coach about that then, Coach Hall. Does the game provide an opportunity for motivation? Does it provide a coaching opportunity to say, hey, if you want to improve those scores, you got to get into the gym?
Yeah, I grew up in the era when the game was at its peak, and I loved it and was really good at it. And it dominated my life. It's what I did, outside of playing the game. For our players, I think so. I think you always want to be represented in a way. We're in a day and age where your brand is out there, and your brand can grow, exponentially because of the reach that you have through social media and the game now and all that. So I think our kids know what their rankings are. We tell them, man, all you can do is produce on the field. And it's just another way that somebody has a way to judge you that necessarily doesn't matter. So you got to keep it in the right perspective. It's another teaching moment for us with our players that there's outside entities that can cast an opinion of you that doesn't necessarily dictate where you're going with your life. And we always tell our kids, what's going on now never dictates what the future is going to look like. It's all about the decisions you make in the present. And so it's an opportunity to teach them that and to tell them if you keep working hard and keep growing, that good things are going to happen to you.
Did they get the stadium right? I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, our stadium looks great.
Great.
Our looks great. It's connected. We've got those end zone suites that are phenomenal. I think they've got it where it's connected to the other side, which that's a little unrealistic. But the turf looks great, and our facility looks right, and so it's good.
So nothing like Texas State where they're missing half their stadium.
That's what I've heard.
They're so upset about that.
Well, they got updates coming. So.
You ain't never been there?
Yeah, I have, but I ain't know.
Guys, that's all I really have. I greatly appreciate y'all joining us on here, and looking forward to seeing what Southern Miss can show us this year on a rebound year.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
We're going to show you a lot this year.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
The Jaguar contingent joined us. Guys, we love some Jaguars, but they always break our hearts. Coach Applewhite, you get the control of the program from Kane Womack. What was that transition like, and did he kind of, I don't want to say anoint you, but really kind of push you to say, hey, I already got this guy, he's great, he knows the culture of the program, make it so?
Yeah, he lobbied for me. You talked to Dr. Urban, and he already thought of things like that through 3 years, so it's just got a lot of people that said a lot of great things, which I really appreciated. Former players like Jalen Tolbert, people in the community who I've met, obviously I appreciate those things, but it wasn't about like gaining control or let me put my signature on this. I mean, there were things that Kane and I talked about before the bowl game on the 24th that we wanted to change, that just any damn good coach would go in there and say, we need to do this better, we need to do that better, we got too many penalties on special teams, we're way too much penalized, we got to be better in this situation. I mean, those are things we were going to address anyway, so the most important thing was getting the seats filled with the right people, quality people, character, integrity. I mean, there's a lot of people that can coach cover two and how to throw a curl route. Okay, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you have character every day. You're consistent for the guy. You can find what motivates him. You're there every day. You can find what excites him about football. You're not a lecturer. You're a presenter. You present things. You keep people excited about the game, and that people feel you. Because they'll forget what you say, but they'll understand your passion and they'll know how much you care about things. And that's just finding the seats, filling them with the right coaches, myself included, and players, and around the support staff. I mean, I want wherever our players look to see people that are passionate and want to win games. People like what Jamal Pritchett just said. I don't care if I get a catch. I want to win. I want to win. But we're going to win when you catch a lot of balls.
That helps. Yeah.
But you just want people like that.
Coach Applewhite, your reputation in your trade is offense. This has been like you've had that sort of reputation for a long time. Kane Womack his reputation was defense. Is the nature of the Jaguars going to change with you at the helm? Will the signature kind of remain the same?
The kind of the amount of knowledge that the head coach has about one side of the ball will change, but the cores and principles of what matters in football, winning the turnover battle, playing great defense, dominating the red area, scoring touchdowns and holding people to field goals and taking the ball away, exchanging and winning the battle of field position. Those are the 4 things that are always going to matter in football. I didn't care if I'm an offensive coach, defensive coach. There's head coaches that have made their living on special teams. It's not like they became bad on offense and defense and great on special teams. So it's the games are won a certain way, and it was a hell of a lot. It was around before I was born. It's going to be around after me. You got to take care of the ball. You got to be great on third down to extend drives or get people off the field. You got to hold people to points in the red zone. The game changes a little bit, but the principles really don't.
Coach, South Alabama, a lot of things seem to be going right. You got the new stadium that came online a couple of years ago. There's been a lot of great support coming out of Mobile. The wins have been stacking up. The one thing that's missing has been those Sun Belt championships. What does South Alabama need to do to finally bring that championship to home to Mobile?
No, it's a fine line between appreciation and also, impatient. Because I spent a lot of time around Joe Bonner, our president, and Dr. Erdman, and there's a great sense of pride in our young, 15-year program. And, in 15 years, we've won a couple bowl games already, and it took other state institutions in our state 30, 40, 50 years to do that. So there's an appreciation for how fast we've come quickly, but where we want to go. And they've done a great job of building the facilities up, over $100 million, like you mentioned, 3 years ago, in terms of a stadium, an indoor practice facility, adjustments to our indoor, our field house. We're going to have some renovations, about $300,000 worth of renovations when this season's over with. So the commitment is there, and we just got to continue to have some continuity in what we're doing and continue to bring great players in. And now that this NIL period has started, it's a different element to our league, to our level, and how you recruit. So it's a little bit different format than when we started out 15 years ago as to where we wanted this program to be.
Coach Applewhite, just a minute. You miss Ladd-Peoples Stadium, right? I love that place.
I never got to coach in that game. That stadium. I've watched
Okay.
I watched some high school games, and I went and actually watched the Senior Bowl when I was 11 years old. That was my Christmas gift. I got to go to Mobile and watch the Senior Bowl. So
nice.
I drove over from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and watched the Senior Bowl. So I've never been in there though as a game.
Oh, okay. Well, you missed out.
Yeah.
That was a great stadium.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
So you dive straight in, North Texas, going head-to-head against another G5 conference foe there in the American in North Texas. What does that game mean to you? And is that really kind of a season-defining, or do you feel that that's just kind of the first game of the season?
It is a season opener. You'd like to obviously start off with a win at home. So number one, it's momentum. But to me, it's home field. It's at your house. So we're starting off at our house. It's a good showing in front of your fans. It's an opportunity for your players and your staff to show what you've done for the last 8 months in terms of getting prepared for this moment. Does it define your season? No, it doesn't define your season. Is it important? Yeah, because it's a momentum builder and it's an opportunity for the guys right off the bat to see where their work has paid off.
That's all we have. We look forward to seeing the Jags. Like I said, one of our favorite teams. Don't break our hearts this year. We fall for it every year, the trap, across the board, every sport. We're like the Jags are going to do it, and then there's a loss, and I'm like, damn it, guys, we can't do that again. This is it. I like it. Thanks a lot, guys.